Come on, my Wawa.
We got like 3 more songs.
No way.
Hi, James. Hi,
You're fucking terrible.
Oh, hi.
Oh my god.
I can't breathe. How good is water?
You're not allowed to say that.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Yeah, you're a bad person.
I can't breathe.
Jesus. Hey James, what's let me know about your band right quick.
Our band, well, we started February into March. No, 2020, yeah, sorry. And we had Jaden, me, and Lennon playing in our garage for months until Jaden quit. It was kind of a half situation. And then we got his girlfriend on bass, and we just write songs in here, write music, try to improve our sound. We're getting shows now. We have one in Wichita Falls and one in Oklahoma City, so here's my water. That's a quick cap of what we are. We play emo, punk music, kind of like, you know, I don't know, man.
That shit's amazing.
It's been out since 1994.
Well, I don't require myself to look at Tommy Luther ever, so.
Hey man, I didn't want to either.
But guess what?
And the caption was just oops. Like he's like a...
Well, you have to go through a whole process to upload something like that, bro.
And now he uploaded like 2, he deleted it.
Yeah, someone said, bro, don't act like nothing happened. Holy shit. Oh
Bro, I
my
have the
God.
original picture on my phone. It's on Twitter.
I want to see that shit.
I watch porn, it's good. I watch good porn, not no amateur POVs.
No way.
Butt plug in Walmart.
No fucking shot. No way.
You should get a dick tattoo.
He just said oops.
Yeah, just oops. Like a lot of O's.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to leave that there.
I did it again.
It's like $100,000 fucking hotel room. Just like...
Well, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's a rock star. What's the dog doing?
Oh.
That's a wolf, bro.
Oh, it's so adorable. Hi. Oh, they. Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Abby, you want a cigarette?
Yeah, she wants.
Get away from that,
Oh, I think I already told you.
Bro, I see like people break into that storage unit all the time, and I'm like, oh no, my keyboard from whenever I was like 7 is gonna be missing.
Drive safe, nerd.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Alright. Drive safe. Love you. Oh my god. Hey! Real. It's gonna be a bitch to try to fucking focus, I swear to God.
what you were. I should have asked, but the subject seemed so. When I found out it was too late, you're just a mop looking for a mate. Fire escape. I need the quickest way down. I hate this place. I need a way out. Fire escape. I need the quickest way out. I hate this place. I need a way.
That's our set! Rock and or roll. I like this energy, all right. Are y'all a bunch of little punks? You're gonna be a bunch of little punks now. They're gonna knock you senseless, no pun intended, and I'm lying about that.
Alright, we're Senseless from Lawton, Oklahoma. I wrote most of these songs about 1 minute down the street, so I hope you like this. The song's called 4-Leaf Clover.
Shoot, alright? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, we need a hijack on the one. Hijack! 2, 3.
He's gay. Help me.
The Easy
Nigga,
Jacket.
fucking weird.
That's not even a Yeezy jacket.
Nigga in his fucking nose. Nigga beat a
Okay.
bit. Oh, move.
Oh my god. Who's that?
Senseless. On the way.
Oh my god, it's Amanda Mitchell, the legend. How was it?
It was awesome. I'm sweaty and my nuts are hot.
Feel that.
I'm ready to get 3 different blowjobs right now, yo.
At the same time.
At the-
Whoa! I just realized.
No, that was back of it. Come on, you got that. You're scared by your eyes.
This house. You know, real niggas. Cause that nigga don't exist. I'm so joking. I'm joking. We lived in that house for about 3 years.
I should never. Yeah.
Nigga, you're young. You can't.
It's happening here, like with the Airbnbs, the shootings, with the parties, and all that shit.
Shit, I was there, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there.
God
That
damn.
shit was crazy. It was wicked, no doubt. It was scary as fuck too, a little bit. It just feel like when niggas they're talking about like they was intruding, bro. Like it squished as fuck up in that house.
Oh no.
Oh God, bro. They just started jumping out windows and shit. I got caught by the police that day.
Really?
Swear to God, they sent me on the concrete and everything.
Do you get hit with anything?
Huh?
Do you get hit with anything?
No. I just told them shit. I heard somebody shoot, so I just dipped. You feel me? The party just broke after that.
How do you feel about the energy that kind of hangs around over here?
I mean, me, I keep myself away from everybody. Like, I'm alone. I'm with my girl or my family or at work. You feel me? I don't fuck with nobody.
God.
You gotta keep it like that, though. It's a lot of fake love and envy. For real. It's a lot of fake love and envy.
A lot of spite.
Gay as hell, too.
Man.
All that shit just play. Stay away from people. Stay to yourself. Know yourself and be yourself. That's what I always say. You gotta know yourself and be yourself. You feel me? You know, there's like, you gotta look at it in this way. There's a lot of people that wanna be you. You feel me? You gotta look at them like your little cousins, your little brother, you know, your siblings, all that. I look at it like that, you feel me? A lot of people wanna be them, but I know a lot of people wanna be me, so why not just better me?
That
Know
is
yourself,
good.
be yourself.
I'm gonna get that tatted on.
I know. Me too.
As a young man, everyone knows as a young black man, to be honest, like, you know, a lot of us, we keep a lot of shit like held up inside of us. Like, how often do you like expel that shit or even cry?
Like cry?
Yeah.
Well, me, I feel like I like to cry because of crying, you just let it all out. You don't need to hold it in. I had to learn that. I was holding a lot of stuff in, and my stepdad, he had started talking to me when I started talking about my pain and everything. Everything got easier, bro. You start crying, letting it out. It just drains all that shit that's up in you at the moment, you feel me? Now you cool for a little minute, you feel me? But I go through like my little stages, like I got this little steps that I do, you feel me? Every time I feel myself getting down, you feel me? I either, you know, I get up, you know, get myself together, I go on a run, listen to some music, you feel me? And that clear my head right there, you feel me? Or I either, you know, I get on the game, I go with my girlfriend, or you feel me? I go smoke with the guys, you feel me? Them right there, them keep my mind off of everything. Or I go, you know, wrestle. I'm a coach. I'm a coach now. I used to wrestle though. You just gotta have distractions, really.
Do you look up to anyone? Like, do you look up to anyone?
I look up to my stepdad because he been there for me. You feel me? And he just like watching him be a dad. It's just cool as fuck. You feel me? It showed me everything I need to do, and he motivated me in a way like a lot. And I look up to Pete Davidson. I just like, he a goofy dude, you feel me? He hide all his pain behind his goofiness. Like it's cool, and then he can goof about his pain, and I just want to know how he mastered that. You feel me?
But like, how do you think it affects you with like, you know, like TikToks talking about like, oh yeah, your girl doing this, or somebody, or none of your people love you?
I feel like that right there, social media is like, that's right there. Social media is nothing but competition, really. Like, it's just people want to compete with people, you feel me? Like, who get more likes, who here, like, who got this background in this big city, you feel me? It's everything. So now everybody picturing somebody else's life, trying to make their life look like that. But everybody got to go through what they go through, you feel me? And you just got to be patient, you feel me? Because at the end of the day, your time gonna come.
Oh God.
You feel me? It's just not your turn yet. It's their turn, and you can't even hate like that. Just be like, that's some shit like, you feel me? You feel me? My time's gonna come though. That's how I look at it. I don't envy, hate, or anything. I love to see people shine. It's my time gonna come. You feel me? You shining right now, and I'm glad you shining right now. But my time gonna come, and I hope the same way I, you know, motivated you and supported you, you support me the same way.
It seems like it's a big pissing contest, bro.
Man, it is.
It's crazy.
My real name is Jaquan Bailey. They call me Quavi or Swaggy P.
Oh yeah.
I prefer Swaggy P.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't even recognize.
I've been here since I was like 8, so like 11 years.
I don't know, I kind of fuck with it though.
Yeah,
People always shit on it, but I've met some really cool people here.
Often seen like the most like consistent thing that's happened.
Probably drug problem.
Really?
For sure. Yeah, a lot of people that like I know personally have one.
And I know I ask a lot of people this because it's some shit that a lot of young people do like in this generation. How do you think social media has affected you mentally, like with the things that you see like on a daily basis?
Awful. I mean, I was on the internet really young, so.
Same.
Yeah, that shit. I've seen some fucked up shit.
That man, bro. He done say some fucked up shit for real, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro.
Who?
You!
Oh yeah.
The worst I've seen is some dude get his head taken off for a fucking shotgun.
Oh yeah.
It was an execution.
Easily. And with internet being a thing that like you've seen a whole lot of like bad shit with it, do you ever feel yourself like being able to completely cut it off from your life completely?
Probably not. Only because it's like such a big part of everything now.
Like how do you deal with like the struggles of overthinking?
Oh, I overthink a lot, so that shit's awful. It's like every day. Personally, I think journaling helps though. Just getting it all out.
Like as a young woman, how much do you cry?
Well, actually, I don't know. I think there's like times where I cry a lot for like a month, and then, you know, the next few months I'm good. It just happens.
So it's like months.
Yeah. And even then, before that, I don't know, it was like a chain of events for me. And before that, it was like years.
What is the most hurtful thing you think you said to someone?
I don't know. I've said a lot of hurtful things in the past, like when I get mad. I've definitely gotten better at that, I think.
And what is like the most hurtful thing that someone has said about you?
Okay, I think the most hurtful thing someone said about me, I think it's more of an action, like just being ghosted, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't really have to say anything to that.
A lot of people won't agree, but I feel like that's worse than people who like they say something like directly to you, like they're gonna be like, I never want to fucking see you again or some shit like that. But like getting nothing, that shit hits. That shit is.
I seen someone on the internet, they try to justify ghosting, bro.
No.
That shit is unjustifiable.
It's not.
I don't know. Me personally, I communicate a lot, so that shit sucks.
Like communication's like the absolute best thing for someone to maintain a relationship. And I'm glad that they're doing that because a lot of people were scared to say exactly how they feel about another person. I'm glad that that's happening but also at the same time, now that people know that's a really good thing that they should be doing, they use that as a weapon against other people. They're like, oh, everyone's about communication now? Let's like in that because I already know they care about it so hard. So that I definitely feel you on that one. What do you have to tell people who constantly get battered with bad relationships or a bad dating experience, like over and over again, to a point where they have no more, like they just don't want to do it anymore?
Okay, so personal experience, I'm kind of on that wave right now, so I'm taking time to myself, and I think that's what people should be doing. I think you attract, like, a reflection of you, you know? You gotta learn to love yourself more.
I just been working at the gym.
Fuck yeah, dog. Fuck yeah.
The first question is like, how long have you been living in Lawton?
My whole life, pretty much. I was born on Fort Sill Base, which was pretty tight. Army baby. And then after a while, we moved to Hinton, Oklahoma, kind of a small town, maybe a few hours away. And then we just moved here about the age like 9, maybe 10.
So since you've been here for like a really long time, how do you feel about the people like you've like met here and the people that are around here mostly?
Honestly, very different. When I first moved here, I was friends with more good kids. Like
Yeah.
everybody was very with their parents, bigger houses, nicer area, you know. So it was nice, but I made a transition from even a younger age, going to a lot of different schools and a lot of different stuff. Shut up. $20. Shut up. I went from being friends with more like good kids to making a very early on transaction. Definitely with moving to different schools a lot, had a lot to impact that. Meeting different people, and like it did seem like every school I went to would be lower. Sometimes it'd be nice, sometimes it'd be just bottom of the barrel. But you always kind of like, as a kid, you know, you make that shit work, because it's like you kind of are forced to hang out with the people you're gonna see every day, and that sometimes that crowd happens to be good or bad. But I feel like you always make the best out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Which is pretty tight. Because you can always just have that mentality. Like nowadays, it's kind of hard to have that because everybody's more different in their own space now.
Yeah, heavily.
Back then, you were stuck with these people as a group, you know, so you didn't have a choice. So I feel like when it comes to the people around Lawton in general, growing up with that in mind, it's kind of like everybody has their own shit going on, but at the same time, everybody knows about everybody's shit. Because for one, we're like a small city. It's like you know everybody, but at the same time, you'll see somebody the next day and be like, where the fuck do you come from? Like, I've never seen you in Lawton before. I've never seen you at Walmart. Because it's like right now, I could tell everybody sitting here, like, you know where Sheridan is, you know where the Vasque is, you know where so forth is. So it's like, kind of like that. Like, everybody knows everybody, but at the same time, nobody fucking knows anybody. Shit, you'll meet a lot of people that come down from other places, towns, cities, even states, and they'll just be like, it's cheaper here. I mean, Oklahoma is like I said, Lawton's like a small city. We have so much shit and so much shit that they keep adding. It's just like at this point, we should be called a city, but you keep in mind, you can get across town in like 30, 40 minutes, barely.
Easily.
Still small, you know? So it's kind of crazy to think about it that way. It's probably why so much more people are coming in and why they put so much more money into bullshit like malls and fucking tennis courts. The attraction, you know?
Yeah.
More people come down here, they see that it's nicer, and then they figure out, oh, well, it's cheap as shit to get a house. I mean, you can get a one-bedroom house down here starting at like what, $550 for rent. It's crazy. Actually, you know, I kind of have this weird aspect of looking at it that I do look up to all my homies, because a lot of them in their own way do have something. Well, obviously everybody has something different about them, and I think that's what makes it more of a reason to look up to them, in a way of saying like, damn, like this homie's doing really good with music, or he's doing really good at art or photography or something that he's doing good at, and it kind of pushes you to want to get into that same subject. So I would like to consider a lot of my homies and a lot of people around me to definitely be a role model. No specific one, just a little bit of everybody has something to do with my life, so I think that's pretty nice way to say that.
So how do you deal with overthinking in your daily life?
So, damn, that's a good question. Nowadays, it's just work, working, listening to music, thinking about what I'm gonna do after the day ends, you know, because working long ass hours in every day of the week, I mean, you know, when I say week, I mean Saturdays included. It's kind of like a different feeling from having a 9 to 5, you know, where you go to work, you get off at 5 o'clock, you still got a whole day to do something. I mean, me personally, I'd go skate, or I'd go into a studio, or I'd go hang out with homies. You know, you have more to do, but it's like nowadays, it's like that time just speeds up. So I use that time to my advantage to help me from overthinking, because, you know, I work, obviously, you know, I live here in Lawton, Oklahoma, but I move and work around other places. So for me to be out there, not on my phone, away, dissociated from reality, it's kind of nice, because it gives you that aspect of, wow, I'm here in the moment building a fucking house and not, you know, overthinking anything. And then I kind of get to town and it's just like, what am I gonna do now? Like, I'm overthinking, like, holy shit, I wanna hang out with this homie or this homie, or I wanna go skate, or I wanna go draw, or I wanna, you know, do these multiple things. So I do feel like, in a certain way, it is kind of nice to overthink sometimes. Just really depends on what, because you never want to lose your mentality to overthinking about the bad or the worst. because what that does is it just adds more and more and more and more on top of yourself. Because I've gone through different relationships with people and, you know, friends, girlfriends and stuff, and one thing I've learned from that is when you overthink, like, oh, maybe he don't want to hang out with me because, I don't know, he's talking shit, or maybe she don't want to hang out with me because she's cheating, or, you know, so forth. It's just kind of like, what's that doing to you, but obviously bringing you down rather than doing anything good for you, you know? So I feel like overthinking definitely has different advantages, but it also has its very well cons.
Like, as a young man, how often do you cry?
So I actually cried for the first time in a while the other night, visiting one of my homies that passed away. Long live Zay, love that dude. I'd say very rarely, actually. I honestly feel like I should cry more, because sometimes you cry and it's just like everything's good. You just, afterwards, it's like, shit, here I am now, you know, finally back at it, not crying anymore, actually being happy. But honestly, rarely, but also at the same time, really depends.
And how did you deal with the grief of losing someone close to you?
Man, you know, you never really deal with grief all the way. There's still those days, you know, that I'll wake up and it's just kind of harder on me than the last day, or some days I'll wake up and it's the easiest day I could go by, and sometimes there's those little in-betweens. But honestly, I can say, like, best thing that you could do as a person is surround yourself with people that are gonna uplift you and help you and work that shit out, because when I lost, you know, my friend due to suicide, it wasn't really like what I expected, you know. Of course, I knew he had homies, I knew he had friends, but I never knew that the whole community, there was a whole, man, there was people, you know, there was hundreds of people there for him. And honestly, that helped me so much, because it showed to me that he wasn't just some kid, he was a legend. And I can say that 100%, that he was a king, you know. He fucking owned that skate park. Probably one of the greatest people I've ever had the chance to meet, and I'm so honored, you know. And I feel like that's what helps me with that grief, is that he's that kid, he's that fucking dude, and that makes me and helps me think that no matter what, he's gonna live on, because we're here for him. He has brothers, sisters, family from all over. I mean, it's crazy. So I feel like that's what really helps me with the grief, is making sure your energy around you is also good, because you don't want to grieve in silence. You know, you're gonna hate yourself every day. I mean, I did it for a while and it was pretty bad. I thought everything was my fault. I thought there was stuff I could do to try to help, or things I could do to try to revert it, but it doesn't work like that. Sometimes life throws you those curveballs and you got to be ready to catch it in some type of way. And luckily, I didn't have to catch it. My homies caught it for me. The people around me did that for me, and that's what really helped, is that they did the grieving for me in a way that let me grieve too. I feel like that's the best way I can put that. The night of everything, you know, we had this lighting at the skate park, and holy shit, dude, there was nowhere to stand. You either got there early enough to where you were there, or you got there just a little bit later than everybody, and you were probably on top of a ramp or a pole, or like you were just out in your car still by there. There was just so many people there that there wasn't nowhere for people to keep standing. And that's a skate park. I mean, that's a big ass park, you know? So it's like, to think about it that way, like, I was like, and this is just honestly, I was expecting what, 70, 80 people at most, family, friends. And that was a community. It was a group. I don't even know. It was beautiful, dude. That's what it was. It was fucking probably one of the best things out of the worst things, you know? To see that. It was an experience.
The sun is hidden behind the clouds. The sun goes down, I see it fall.
There's been a lot of times where I've really wanted to express my feelings on suicide, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, it's still something I struggle with today. Just thoughts of it and things like that I can't really control. But I can definitely say it's a permanent fix to a temporary problem. Even though I sympathize with some of the people that have done it before, a lot of people think it's selfish, but I kind of have a different say on it, even though I don't want to completely voice how I feel about it because some people might not find it appropriate, but I definitely understand sometimes.
My opinion on suicide. It doesn't matter your age, ethnicity, or gender. Suicide comes for us all. People who commit suicide to me are victims. The ones who fall victim are not weak, most have been pushed and pushed till they couldn't take another second more. There are many traits that the victims have in common, but most go unnoticed till it's too late. A decent amount of the time, the people are good at hiding how they really feel. Trauma keeps them from using a louder voice to speak. That's not true in all cases, but most. The ones who seek help normally aren't taken seriously, so things get worse. In some cases, they do get help, quote unquote, but it's not what they really need, so they proceed with their plans. It's sad that I know many of the people I love and care for don't love themselves enough, so they can't/won't stay with us. It does not matter how much they are loved by others. It doesn't make a difference and can sometimes reassure them that what they're doing is right. It isn't wrong. I just wish it could be different.
Me and that nigga was like best friends and shit. But that nigga was so fucking sad, bro, and depressed. Like, that shit is crazy. Me being 14 and that nigga being 20, I didn't even understand shit that was going on, nigga. I just wanted to play Black Ops 2 all fucking day. And he played with me. He played zombies and shit. We was playing Origins. Like, nigga, we stayed in the room for like 9 hours at a time. Walked to that little fucking A&A store by Cameron. And got snacks and shit all the fucking time. Because I used to stay by Cameron. We'd walk to that store and get shit all the time, nigga, and just play the game while my brother was down there. And that nigga was going through issues and shit, being neglected by his family and shit. And he told me before he left that he was gonna kill himself. And he said even if I said something, there was nothing I was gonna do to prevent it because they don't believe him. And he did that shit. Sure as shit stank. Shit was sad as fuck.
What did he do?
He hung himself.
Rip. God damn.
He used like 3 extension cords. Like, that shit was crazy. And when that shit happened, I was like, bro, nobody had shit to say but me. And I ain't even said nothing. I just stayed in my fucking room. Stayed straight in my fucking room all day. That shit was so sad. Shit still hurt till this day.
That's crazy.
He the realest nigga I ever knew because he said he was gonna kill himself and actually did that shit. That's why. Nigga, ain't nobody ever did that shit that I know of.
Oh,
niggas say that shit is a joke. Ain't nothing wrong with it as long as you're saying that shit is a joke. But in his case, he ain't had no other option. That nigga was 20. He genuinely felt like his life was over. Shit, I done felt that way. I ain't finna kill myself though.
Haven't really been doing well, but I mean, people always say it passes, but this one is hard. But no one knows, so I give myself about another year, if I'm gonna be honest. But no one knows that. No one knows that. So I guess that makes it alright. I don't know how I'm gonna do it though. It always changes in my mind, so we'll just see what happens.
But I'd say the first time was 3rd grade. Yeah. You know, usual shit. Bathroom. Knife, you know. First time I got caught doing it was probably like 2016. So it was a while. It was a long while. Just because, you know, middle child syndrome. No one cares. But, yeah. And they were just, yeah, my mom walked in. She just, like, started yelling at me and shit. She was like, you do this shit again, I'm gonna put you in a ward. And I was like, okay. So, of course, I did it again. But nobody ever found out. Ever. Yeah. It took a handful of random shit, you know. Some of my mom's diet pills and some ibuprofen, you know. A lot of random shit. We lived by a farm at one point, and like my brother's really big into like rodeo shit. So he had like this lasso. Using that once, but not smart. I'm not an engineer, so yeah. I mean, it's still something that I struggle with often, like every day, really. It's just a choice whether or not to do it.
So did I even really tell you like in depth about it at all?
You never even talked to me about it.
Really? So, you already know that like shit happened like before then, and like real bad shit, and mom was like heavily suggesting it to the point where I almost seemed forced, and I already knew it was gonna happen. So yesterday, the day before yesterday, like me, Jaden Ross, and Caleb had all hung out. Me, Jaden Ross, and James. Yeah, we all hung out because I knew it was gonna be like my last day because I didn't even know how long I was gonna be there. So they had woke me up and they had took me up there, and they were like we're wanting to admit him in and stuff like, because we're gonna do outpatient, but then like we had went in there, they had got my vitals, I made sure like what blood alcohol level, like drugs, any drugs I had taken or anything. I got cleared for all that, but like still. But I was sitting in a chair, I was just kind of staring there the whole time. I didn't even talk the whole time that I was going there or anything. I didn't even say a single word. But we had got there and we're just there. They had took all my vitals and crap like that, and then mom was like, they were like, oh yeah, are you going to be inpatient or outpatient, because you don't have to do this if you're going to be outpatient. And mom like had looked at me and she was like, what do you want to do? And I kind of just looked at her and was like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I didn't say all that, but I was just kind of shaking my head, and then they were just all kind of staring at me. So I was like, inpatient is fine. And I don't know. I kind of felt like a little bit of a shock through my body whenever I said that, cause I kind of realized what I had did, and I already know I couldn't really go back on it. So, and mom was like, oh yeah, I'm happy that you got cleared for drugs and weren't doing anything. I was just kind of sitting there, just kind of staring off. like forward. I wasn't really trying to ignore her. I just couldn't really hear her. And well, I finally went up there and we gave them the papers, and they were like, okay, we can get you in. And they had literally just like shoved them off basically, and there was like this big metal door that like opened and closed, and it was like a button to go in. There was cameras everywhere and shit like that. It was like a big fucking jail door to get inside of there. It was like two doors to get inside of there. I went and sat in the waiting room. I was just kind of sitting there, just kind of staring blankly, cause I had my mask on. Like it was like whenever we still have to wear a mask real bad. I was just kind of like, just kind of staring. I felt so like shaky and numb. Like I was just looking at my hands, like, and it was just like stuff popping on my phone. Like my phone was already getting ready to die, like right before I had went in. So, I was on that, and it was Makai's birthday and shit like that. But, I was just sitting there on my phone. But I was just too nervous. My hands wouldn't let me do anything. They kept on asking me like, oh, do you want water? Do you want something? I was just like, I didn't even really say anything to them. Like I didn't say a single word to them until I got into the room. But the part that really fucked me up a lot is that they were like, okay, we're gonna need all your personal belongings. So like I had a charger, and I had my phone, and I had my keys like on me, and my wallet, and they had took all that. I was like, I didn't say anything about my phone because I just didn't know I wasn't gonna have my phone the entire time, because I had no clue how long I was gonna be there. So it looked like a big waiting room, but it had like a TV, and it was like a desk in like the middle of it that had like one way in and one way out basically, like in the middle of like the whole room, and it was like books. I can still visualize the room. Like you walk in, the desk is to your left, and then to your right is like an open room and it's like a door that goes outside, and it's like a TV with a bookshelf on the side of it that has like hella DVDs and shit like that. And I was just kind of I wasn't really looking at anybody that was in there. I was just kind of like so spaced out that I couldn't really hear anything. Like I really just don't really remember this part. And then they had set me down in the desk area, and they were just asking me questions. And then they were like, oh, my bad, yeah, we forgot to get all your stuff. And I was like, I thought they already did that. I was just kind of thinking that. And the dude took me back to this fucking like it looked like a fucking storage closet, like. And he was like, okay, we're gonna need you to like strip completely. Like they literally had me like strip completely down. Like I had to take off my earring, I had to take off my chain. I couldn't have anything on. Fucking pants, shirt, underwear, everything. And they gave me like shit to wear and shit like that, and it was like these fucking scrubs. And those scrubs fucking sucked. It was like these red scrubs that like doctors wear. And they had like your like something like written on it, but I didn't really look because there was no mirrors in there. That scared the shit out of me. I was on the verge of crying because like I had never been like told to fucking strip down by somebody down to like literally I had nothing on, like bare skin, nothing, like everything that I had to take off, every single thing. And then they have finally brought me back to the room. They were like, have you done any drugs? They were just asking me just like crazy questions. They're like what drugs do you usually use? Do you need a nicotine package? And I'm like, are you sure? They asked me like 3 times if I needed a nicotine package, like a nicotine patch. They're like, what drugs do you usually use? What's your, like, do you self-harm? Do you take any medication that you're not supposed to? Like, this, and that, just a whole lot of stuff. And I had to answer all of it. Like, it was, like, kind of forcibly answered. So, like, after I got done with that whole process, they gave me, like, a stack of papers, about, like, the whole thing, like how it was going to be ran, like what the wake up time, stuff like that. But I didn't look at any of it because I didn't want to. I didn't want to really look at it like at all. So, I finally went to go sit down at this chair, and I think I was sitting down at that chair for about 3 hours, just kind of sitting there staring at the wall. Cause I mean, there was nothing playing on the TV, nothing. And then after I got done staring at the wall, like it had started to get nighttime, and I had the like washing realization that kind of came over me. So, like, I was like, can I call someone? I really want to call someone. Like, I can't, like, and they're like, yeah, you got like 10 minutes and the phones are going off because it's getting late. So, I called mom, and I was like, I was just basically saying like what's going on? Like, I want to leave. Like, I need to leave. Like now, as soon as possible. And like she was like, are you sure and stuff like that? And I was like, yes, I'm sure. Like, I want to leave like now. And like they were just kind of staring at me while I was talking on the phone and stuff like that because the time was about to be up. And then I just kind of saw them staring at me, and I started crying and stuff like that. And I was like, come and get me now. Like, I want to get out of here now. Like, I want to leave. Like, now. Like, I can't do this. Like, this is super fucked. Like, I can't bear to be here. And she was like, okay, we're gonna call them. We're gonna ask them about something like that. So the phones had went off for the night, and I couldn't call her back for anything. I couldn't call or do anything. So it hit bedtime, and they basically force you to go to bed after like, I think it's like 9 o'clock. So I went to like, my room was like in the very back to like the left, and like it was nothing but brick walls. Like, it was brick walls and 2 beds and like a bathroom. And it was like a women's side and a men's side because they didn't even split us up. There was like men and women in there. I had tried to get into the bed, like they had gave me covers and stuff like that. Like earlier they had like laid them out on the shit, and like those beds, oh my god, those beds are so fucking like, I think it was about like 5 inches of like whatever the fuck it is, and like wood casing it like all around, so you couldn't even like roll off or anything. And like the pillows were like thin, like there weren't even really pillows. You could probably stack like 5 of them on top of each other to get the pillow that you're laying on. Like, that shit was terrible. And like the covers that they gave you were just like plain white covers. It wasn't like nothing. It was like they were like thin as paper. And I was just kind of laying there like staring at the ceiling, and it was like light cascading through like the window with all the bars on it. And I was just kind of staring at that, and I just started bawling. Like I just started like bawling. Like, I was kind of just looking around. I was like I was just starting to like really panic and shit like that, because I realized like what the fuck was happening. I saw like the light coming down the hallway and stuff like that. And I was panicking. I was just, like, it had got to the point where it was like, I'm guessing, cause there was no clocks in there. There was no time. There was no like, the only people that knew the time were like the orderly people that walked around and like helped everyone. And I'm assuming it was like 1 o'clock, because I feel like I was sitting there bawling my eyes out and like looking around forever, and I just finally just covered my ears, and for the rest of the night I just sat there and just like covered my ears and closed my eyes while I was bawling, just trying to imagine that I was at home. And then they woke us up at like 5 o'clock that next day. I'm assuming, because on the paper it says 5 o'clock. So they had woke us up, and every morning they drew blood, and they took your blood pressure, and they asked you what were you gonna do today, and how are you gonna make this day better, and like when are you gonna get out of here and stuff like that. I was just kind of shaking my head. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And whenever that second day came, the first thing I did was go to the phone. I was like, Mom, like I need to leave like now. She was like, yeah, I talked to them before they had closed, and they were like, and they said that what you said whenever you talked to the therapist whenever you first went in, they said now that you said that, the stuff that you did say, you're not allowed to come out for an entire week. And she was crying, and I started crying because I was like, the realization hadn't hit me yet. So they were like, yeah, it's a mandatory 5 days that you have to be there, and there's nothing I can do about it. I think that was a moment that really broke me. I felt like I was in hell. Like at that moment right there, I think that's the moment that broke me the hardest, was just the realization I was gonna be there. And then on top of that, she was like, they were saying that the weekends don't count, and I had went in on a Friday. I had stayed in there for a whole full 7 days. And I think like the third day, I can remember I had to sit in this big room with like a table in the middle of it, and they were like, okay, we're gonna have you talk to this man because we're gonna learn a good bit about you so we can know what medication to give you and what we're gonna be dealing with and stuff like that. And the whole time they were talking to me like I was like a pet or something, like I was like a piece of property. Like they would be like right there and they'll be sitting there talking about us. Like it was pretty fucked up. And then not even to mention like the people in there, like there was a dude that had been in there for 3 months. And then there was another dude that had been in there like for like a year. A full year. In that place. In that same room. And that first day, I was in that room for so long that I had missed like lunch. So they had brought lunch in there with me, and they had me in there talking to that man for about 5 hours. Because there was actually a clock in there, so I literally watched the clock go from like this to like that. Like, and he just, like, I had got to a certain level where I actually talked. Like, talk, and I was just talking about everything that I dealt with and stuff like that. And they were like, okay. I finally got out, and it was like around dinner time, and dinner time was like around 5 o'clock. So I went and tried to eat, and I didn't even eat anything. Like, I didn't eat a single thing. I don't even remember if I went or not, because you had like a choice. But if you didn't go, I found out on the 4th day that all the times that I didn't go to eat, I didn't go eat breakfast, I didn't go eat lunch, I didn't go eat dinner, I didn't go outside for like the talks and all that. They were like, if you continue to do that, then we're not going to let you out. On that 4th day, I also found out that they have finally diagnosed me, and it was all the things you know about today. They were like, it's all on those papers too. They were like, definitely anxiety, 100% depression. And then they put in like the sub notes. There was like, strong potential for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Because he was taking written notes the whole time. Everybody there like takes written notes. They had like basically if you had just first gotten there, you have like a assigned therapist that you talk to, or like a assigned person that's over your case that's there. And it was like legal stuff and everything. Like the entire time, like I was just trying to convince this woman, like there was like a nice one, and then there was like a really rude one that talked to me like I was just garbage. And she was like, well, you're not taking showers, and You're not talking to people, you're not doing anything. The only thing you do is sit in your room and talk on a phone. You're not really trying. You're never gonna get out of here if you don't. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm a fucking 19-year-old in a psych ward with a whole bunch of people that I don't know being treated like garbage. But then, after like 4 days of pure hell, there was these two people that had, there was like more new people that had started to come in, right? So, during those days, I had kind of like, I was kind of trying to watch TV and stuff like that, but they played the same like 10 movies over and over again. Because all we could do is just sit there. Besides eating lunch, dinner, and breakfast, all we did was just kind of sit there. Either watching TV or reading. And like there was this girl named Tatiana that left like the third day that I was there, and she would like scream, she would like throw fits, she would like pick up shit and like throw it across the room. She would like push the orderlies and stuff like that. They literally had to like pull her out and everything that entire time. Like she would just, and then what fucked me up is that like she would do all that, and then she would leave for like an hour, and then whenever she came back, like she was like a zombie. She didn't say any words. She wasn't able to, it was like this black girl. She wasn't able to say any words. She could barely pour water for herself. Like she couldn't do anything after whatever they did, whatever medicine they gave her. I think that's what kind of fucked me up the most, is because on that 5th day they had started to give me my medications. Like after I had talked to them again, they had me choose between Lexapro and Zoloft and mood stabilizers and antipsychotics. So, and then stuff for anxiety, which I still have. They were like, we don't want you to take it all at once, but we need you to take it before we're able to even think about. They like literally, her exact words out of her mouth, she was like, you're gonna have to take this medicine before we even consider letting you leave whatsoever. This was my 5th day. So I went there on a Friday and I didn't leave until like that next Monday. Yeah, I didn't leave till that next Monday. First thing I had took was I decided on Lexapro, and that shit was terrible. That shit's so bad. I don't like it whatsoever. Like I could barely speak. Like anything that I thought, like my mind was just so scrambled. And like I was just kind of sitting there like numb, like not even like physically numb, like it felt like my brain was like shut off, like completely. On that 6th day, you know, like I had kind of like loosened up a little bit. Like of course, like calls with mom crying it over and over again. 90% of the entire time I didn't sleep. Like I had met this guy in there, right? Like his name was, I forgot his name. But yeah, I came there on like the 4th day I was there, and I started to talk with him. Like to this day, I thank him for helping me, because he was just so nice and so cool with me. Like he had like a mohawk, and he had like a tribal tattoo on the side right here, and he had like a tattoo like up his neck, and he had like a lightning rod that went like right through his eye right here. Like dude looked like a fucking movie character. It was crazy. And he was talking to me. He was like, yeah, like just stay calm. Like it'll be alright. You'll get out here eventually, like absolutely. Because he had been in there multiple times, like he had been in there multiple times, and he said he had saw so many people come and went, and he just said he tries to help people the most because he struggled with like heavy addiction and stuff like that. So he was just talking to me. He was like, Like, trust me, man, I've done this so many times that it's nothing to me now. He was like, yeah, like, what kind of movies do you watch? I can put on some movies because these dudes don't really be watching the movies. They just kind of look at the TV. And I was like, I mean, there's one movie that he did put on for me was Chronicle. That movie, like, impacts me so much now because I think I watched it about 3 times while I was in there. Like, Schoolhouse Rock, I fucking hate that movie. I watched that movie over 10 times in there because it was just different people would just come in there and just, like, right after my movie would finish, like, sometimes, like, whenever he had left to go, like, to another, because he was struggling with, like, addiction. He wasn't, like, he was fucked up, but, like, he needed somewhere where he was, like, catered to. So he had left and went to, like, a recoverment thing. So I had met this dude that he was all the way from South Carolina, and he had, like, flipped out, like, completely flipped out during his basic training, him and his best friend. And they had been basic training in Fort Sill, and he had completely flipped out because he had got blamed for something that he didn't do. And you know, in the Army, if you flip out and say some crazy shit, then you're getting sent right over there. So dude was thousands of miles away from home, in a psych ward by himself, and split up from the only person that he knew. And his friend had got sent to another one. So, and he had, like, a pretty bad speech impediment. He was just kind of telling me, like, this shit's fucked up. Like, this shit's, like, really fucking with me, like, real bad. Like, dude was, like, 20. So he was, like, a year or two younger than me. I mean, a year or two older than me at the time. Me and him, we decided to watch Twilight because it was, like, a really cool movie. And, like, there was this bitch that fucking came in there. It was, like, this tall, skinny white bitch. And, like, me and him were laughing about, like, the movie because we were talking about how bad it was. Like, he was really cool. Like, after we had broke the ice a little bit, like, he was really fucking cool. Like, we were just sitting there laughing about, like, Twilight and how bad it was. Even though I really liked the movie, we were just talking about it, and she was like, and she was sitting in the back over there reading a book, and whenever the scene that came on with that fine bitch, she was like, yeah, I hope you know that, they burned out all her hair trying to dye it black like that, and she's wearing a wig right now. And I was like, and me and the dude, I looked at each other like, we don't give a fuck. Like, so, like, those 2 days went on, me and him were just kind of like, we would, like, wake up and we would, like, talk. Me, him, and the other dude had talking at, like, lunch, breakfast, and shit like that, and I had started to eat. Like, I was trying to, like, have, like, good health and stuff like that. They had, like, these, in the showers and the bathrooms were so fucking, like, the fucking shower, like the fucking water literally came out of the wall because they couldn't have, like, a rack or anything because people would try to, like, hang themselves on it. And, like, the mirrors weren't even actually mirrors. You know the flimsy fucking shits that you can kind of see your reflection in? Yeah, like, they literally had that for the fucking mirrors. Like, it was so many times where I wanted to just fucking punch it, like, over and over and over again. But I knew that, like, I couldn't. And the sinks were shitty. The sinks had, like, no water pressure. Nothing had water pressure. And, oh yeah, also, during that 4th day, there was, like, another dude that had was slept in the empty bed that was in the room that I was in, and dude, he fucking snored like a fucking tractor. My God, I didn't sleep any. On top of me crying and just hearing his fucking loud ass snore, it was just so ridiculous. Me and that one dude and the other dude, the tall dude with the tattoos, like, we had all went to the lunchroom. And shit like that, and we had this salad. Like, bro, that salad was so fucking good. I didn't think I would ever be able to say that, the best salad that I ever ate was in a fucking psych ward. Like, I never thought I would ever say that, but bro, that fucking salad was so smack, bro. Like, there was like this orderly that was like really cool, so I was talking to her about it. I was like, this salad is really good. Like, and she was like, oh, I'm happy to hear that. That's good. And shit like that. Like, she was like like one of the only ones. There was some fine ones too. There was some that was so bad, I swear. She actually talked to you like you're a person. It was nice. But eventually I had started to feel better and stuff like that, and I had hit that it had hit that Sunday, and I was just I was a little bit sad because like I had kind of like developed friends in there. So I had talked to that dude literally all day. Like, there was like him and another guy that I had talked to because the big dude had left. So there was like him and another dude. We're just sitting there chopping it up all day, and we had watched the Gremlins, and we're just cracking up and laughing the whole time because there was like two TVs in the whole like waiting room type looking shit. So there was like the main big TV, and there was like a TV in like kind of like a corner area, and like we were able to have like covers and shit like that. Like I had literally like me and him had literally like pushed together like chairs and shit like that, had like our feet props up with like our blankets and shit because it was always like 60 degrees in there. It was like never hotter than 60 degrees. It was actually pretty bad. Even walking out through the whole building, we couldn't wear anything but our socks. Those socks. That's why they're so dirty like that. During that Saturday, bro, I had completely forgot about we had went to like classes and shit like that. Like, we had watched like videos. We had went to like this conference room and watched videos and shit like that. And Curtis was cracking me up, but I didn't want to laugh. He was like, "Bro, this is such bullshit and shit." Because they had left us in there by ourselves for like a second because he had to get on a call. It was like, "Bro, this is such bullshit." It was crazy. It was crazy, dog. Like, during that Saturday, bro, I have been shut off so bad that I didn't even realize that anything had like literally we couldn't hear about any news. We couldn't hear about anything that was going on. And for like some days, like, even if mom called me, I wouldn't even answer the phone because I didn't want to talk to anyone outside. We didn't hear about no news. There was no way to look at the news. There was no way to look at the time or anything. It was pretty bad. And then during that Saturday, I had kind of started to like think a little bit. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to be out of here in 2 days. Like, I'm going to be able to leave in 2 days. Like, I had completely like, I'm not even going to lie, I had put on a mask for that lady because I just want to leave. And that night I actually went to bed without crying. The only time that I went to bed without crying. Mom picked me up. They put all my stuff in like this big envelope, and I cried whenever I opened my phone and I saw all y'all's messages and stuff like that. I was like bawling my eyes out.
I didn't even know you that well then.
Yeah, like y'all literally made me bawl my fucking eyes out, like looking at all y'all's messages.
How fucking hard is it? Literally, I have said that quote 400 fucking times since I moved here today. How hard is it? Blank. Look at me, bro.
How hard is it?
How hard is it?
Pretty damn hard for them, apparently.
Yeah, and my mom spent all my money that I made this summer, so I'm poor. And apparently that money she gave me while I was at Lawton was income tax money. So, literally I spent that money unknowingly, and now I'm poor. Hey, Bobby, I want you to meet my home. This is King Chief. Hey, Lance, get out here, bro. I'll be out there in a minute. I'm on the phone, bro. I'll be out there. I promise I'll be out there in a sec. Okay.
locking my door, never going back out.
No way.
God damn.
And I was pissed off when we went out to eat earlier because I locked myself in my room and I was on the phone with my mom for a long time. And then Brent rode with me to Walmart and he was like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" And I was like, "Well, my mom spent all the money I made over this summer and I have no money left besides a $4,000 credit card." And he was like, oh, it's okay. You got 4 brothers living with you. We're gonna get through this. And I literally was like, yeah. But mentally, I wanted to unhinge and be like, I can't ask y'all for money. Every time y'all go out to eat, I can't go with y'all because I can't ask y'all to pay for my meal. Like, they don't understand what being poor is like. I didn't grow up poor per se, but I grew up not having money available to me. They think my mom sends me money every fucking day as an allowance, and it's not like that at all. Literally, my mom sends me maybe $100 every month. She sent me $400 for whenever I was in Lawton, and I thought that was my money that I made over the summer, but it wasn't. And today, whenever she told me that she used all my money for my rent, I thought she paid. I just didn't know what to think. She said, I don't know. I asked her, I was like, hey, can you send me $200 of my money? And she said, you have no money. And I said, well, where did it go? And she said, I paid 3 months of your rent, like you said. And she misheard me. So now I have to go till the end of September without a job. Because, without having money, I don't have money. I had to ask my dad if he could co-sign for a loan for $15,000 because I couldn't get financial aid or student loans for college. When everybody in this fucking house was able to just pay it with one fucking check. The only reason I can't get a job is because I have to go back to Dallas. Otherwise, I would get a job right now. I'm not the type to just be lazy and just not get a job. I can't do that. I just genuinely can't get a job until September 20th because I have to go get my mom from Dallas. Because Ian that you met is the only person in our friend group that understands what it's like to not have supportive parents. It's not that they can't support, it's just they don't want to. Or so on and so forth. It's just like, I mean, my mom is supportive. Like, no, she's not. No, she's not. She's not supportive at all. All mom talks about is just negativity. I mean, eventually she does offer to help and give me money, but that's not what I want. I just want, like, I don't want money from her. I just want her to be like, I'm proud of you for going to college and trying to be better. But she doesn't even say that. She doesn't say that. Literally nobody has told me that they're proud of me for being better besides my dad. And I doubt he even means it. Because he doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying half the time. Fucking something. And I want to give my kids a fucking opportunity to live a fucking life without stress. And having to go through fucking pain of every fucking emotion. I don't want my fucking kid to go through that.
Me neither.
And it hurts seeing my friends go through that too, because I went through that shit at a very, very young age when I shouldn't have. And that's what drove me to a lot of fucking mental problems, was going through emotional pain at fucking 14 years old. And nobody fucking sees that. Not even my fucking mom. She was like, oh, well, you're too young to know what love is. But that's not, no, that's, I don't know.
Oh, that's so good.
Because this is real emotions right now. I can't, I haven't cried since 2020. I haven't cried in 2 fucking years.
Yeah, I just cried for the first time in a long time today too.
And literally, whenever we were moving in, I literally locked myself in my room. And nobody said a word but Ian. And he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just don't feel like anybody is like, I'm not even like a part of anything. Like, yeah, I'm here, I pay rent, that's about it. Nobody has said a fucking word to me. Nobody was like, oh bro, I'm happy to see you, da 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 da. Nobody, bro. It's just like I'm just fucking existing in a fucking, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just existing at this point. And that's the whole reason I wanted to go to Lawton, because you and fucking Sincere, I didn't even know him until I went there, but you and Sincere were the only people, mostly you. Y'all were the only people that have like showed me what a real fucking friend is. All my life I've just had people that just sat there and just, they listened, but they didn't say anything. They would just be like, yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. Like, even my mom, whenever a bunch of shit happened with Lexi, whenever I tried to, do all that, and then I went to therapy, my mom, she asked me what was going through my head, and I told her, like, the gist of it, and she just didn't even say anything, but, like, I don't know. It's just hard.
Well, I definitely get why you're upset about that, and I really am glad to hear that you feel that way about me and Sincere. Like, I really appreciate you, right? Like,
I know.
you're one of the people that I appreciate the most, especially knowing what you've went through and how we're so similar.
And I want to say that I'm sorry whenever you tell me about, like, serious events in your life. I don't know how to help people with that. I understand what you're saying, but I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm going to, like, try and make it a positive situation. I understand that it's a negative situation, but I just don't know what to say. I don't know how to help. I don't know what to say to fix it. I know nothing I say will fix whatever's wrong. Like whenever you're talking about your dad, I know nothing I say will change the way you feel about how you reacted to him calling you. I know that. I didn't know what to say. I said what I could, But I also know in the back of my head, nothing I say would change your feelings on the situation, you know? Holy fuck, my eyes are fucking bloodshot red, bro. Hold on, I'm just gonna go outside. I'm waiting on whoever's in my bathroom. I cannot believe that I just cried. That was literally, like, I literally have felt like I've been on, like, Prozac and what's the other one? Lexapro?
Lexapro and Florazine, all that shit.
No, so the two ones that I took was Prozac and Lexapro.
Yeah, I took Lexapro.
Yeah, so I remember my therapist prescribed it, and I was like, okay. I took it for 2 months, bro. 2 months. And my mom was like, you haven't even given it time to kick in yet. And I was like, Mom, literally, I come home because my mom talked to the same therapist I did, and I read the fucking, those papers.
Yeah.
So those papers, I like read every fucking word.
Same.
That's fucking 10-page paper. And I read, this was like a year ago, my mom said something about how I would just sit in my room and I wouldn't come out besides going to school. I would just sit in my room and I wouldn't. Green, you fucking dirty bitch, that's my bathroom!
Wow. It's fucking stupid.
Thank you. You started it all. Because of license. I guess. You have to ask the artist.
What's Fuzzy throwing on Jen, or is he pulling his gun back with his dick?
Well, I don't know. John's in the middle of it.
Come here! What does that smell?
He did. He's like, smell that. That's my waffles.
Okay, Cardi.
That's exactly what that nigga did. He was like,
in that video, he was the opposite. He was like,
Oh my God, his hands is on his whole hip, bro.
I really don't know what to say. Like, I think it's gonna be okay. I mean, it really is.
I feel like I keep trying, but I just keep getting knocked back down. Anytime I try to do something good for myself, a whole bunch of bad stuff just comes to ruin it. I feel like I'm going nowhere, and I'm just staying stagnant.
You what?
I'm so tired.
Everything isn't gonna be perfect. But anytime you feel like everything, like the world is caving in around you, just think about where you were 2 years ago at this time. Things get better, and no matter how good they get, you still gonna face things in life. Obstacles are gonna come. That's what that's what I often tell myself. And you gotta, stop being afraid to ask people when you're in need because a closed mouth don't get fed. And anybody with a good heart or with good sense, if they see you trying, they gonna help you. They're able to. Because if there's one thing I know about you, if they need it, you gonna do it. All right, I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's.
you're more than welcome to come up here and get whatever you need out of it. Just, love you. It's fine sitting here for, a couple days. And if you decide you want to scrap it, I got a guy that'll come over here.
Ready. I'll definitely contact you in probably in the next 2 days.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello. The motor's completely ruined. And the motor's completely ruined and there's no warranty on it. There's nothing I can do about it. He said the price of the motors went up like $1,000, and if I try to get another, it's gonna be like $4,000, and there's no reason to do it. He said I can come up there and get my stuff out of it and get whatever I want.
Some people don't truly understand losing something that gave you so much fucking comfort. Something that got you through the hardest times in your life. People see a vehicle as a piece of metal, but it was much more than that to me. It melted away all my pain, all the irritation that I felt, and the few times that I did get to sit in the bed of my truck, those were the times I felt the most free, the most content, and the most carefree. People can call it a piece of shit. People can call it a burden. They call it whatever the fuck they want. I truly love you, Wichita. I really do thank you. I really do. So, first question, what kind of car did you have?
So, I drove a 2015 Scion FRS, release series 1. It was one of 1,500 made, and it was actually the last production one. It was number 1,500 out of 1,500, which may seem small and minuscule to like everybody else. Like, I mean, it's not 1 out of 1, not 1 out of 10, not even 1 out of 100, but 1,500. I mean, but to me, it was something really special, and it was really, really, really nice and wonderful to be part of that community and get to talk and know other people just for their car, because I have the same car. They have the same car as me. I mean, other people think it's not, but to me, it was really special to have.
And how did everything happen that night? The night did you crash?
So, the night that I crashed, how everything happened and how it went down, I had just worked all day from sunup to almost sundown. I left right before sunset. But I worked all day to get I had just installed a new wing on the car and paid a lot of money for it, paid a lot of money and time just to get it painted to color match and just, install it, and had a lot of people help me, and a lot of people gave up their time to come help me, and right after I had got it fully finished,
fully painted and fully installed. I left. I had told my fiance that I would buy her food. She had a really rough day at work. I wanted to be there for her. I told her I would be, so it was really important that I get it done at that time. That night in particular, no one had been in my car that day, the day before. No one had been in my car, and I remember getting into the seat. I'd driven the car that day. I got into the car that day, and nothing was wrong with the driving of it. And of course, I'm the only one in there. I didn't adjust the seat. I never do. It's always adjusted for me as the driver. But I remember getting in there that last day, and on the way to her house to go pick her up, which I didn't leave the car. On the way, I remember getting in. I'm just like, this is weird. I adjusted the seat. I pulled it forward. I pulled it back, raised it up, put it back down, and I even adjusted my steering wheel. I was just like, something's not right. Something was off. So just my intuition really going off there. I don't know why. I really don't. I mean, she even got the same kind of vibe. She had to drive back from Chickasha that day, and so she also was just really anxious for no reason. But that night we went and got our food, we ate, and the morning after, I was supposed to go to Oklahoma City at 4:30 in the morning. So I was like, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to go get gas before we go home. On my way to the gas station, I had just merged onto the highway from Cash Road, going down towards Gore. Merged onto the highway and just didn't stop merging. That particular spot, it was on an overpass, and it was a rather dangerous spot. And to keep in mind, by the way, it was raining pretty heavily that night. Within the last hour that I wrecked, it had just started really raining. This was on an overpass where I wrecked, and it was really fucking scary, I'm not gonna lie. We hit on my passenger side, we hit the front end of the vehicle, and then it kind of kicked out and then swung and hit the rear way harder than we hit the front. And then we ended facing the flow of traffic on the highway. And, since it was on the overpass, my fiance in the passenger seat, she was telling me, I mean, the first thing I did was, are you okay? None of us were hurt. Airbags didn't go off. It fucked the car up pretty damn good, but, I mean, we were okay, and that was our first thing, and I remember thinking, like, this didn't happen. This is not real. This is not real. This is not happening right now. Because at the time, really, all I cared about was my car. I was conscious of my future at that point and where I wanted to be in life, but because of my car, I honestly kind of gave up on a lot of stuff that I should have been doing a long time ago, just so I could focus on that, and it was just temporary joy and relief every day instead of just every now and then like it really should be. So I remember getting out of my car and just fucking screaming and yelling at it, and just hitting it, and then I was just not in my own right set of mind, and I'm taking up 2 full lanes on a highway while it's raining on an overpass where people can't see you because they have to turn on this overpass, and some guy, a military guy in a truck, pulls up, and I guess he saw it happen behind us, and he stopped and said, hey, are you okay? Are you guys okay? And I said, yeah. And he calmed me down, and he was able to talk to me and just in a few seconds worth. It wasn't a whole lot of time, but it was just a few seconds worth, just like, hey, it's okay. You're good. You're safe, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, it's all that matters. He said, can you start your car? And I said, I don't know. And I went in, started right up, completely fine. I was like, okay. I went around and I looked at my fender, and my fender's jabbed into my tire. And so it was really hard to move the car, but that car just pushed through. Anyway, we moved it about 20 feet just to get it onto the shoulder of the road for a tow truck to come pick it up, and and I remember just, the rain had stopped and it was just sprinkling at that point, so I remember just kind of standing there and just looking at it for about 10 minutes before I called anybody, just staring at it. Of course, my fiance was very upset. She was a little scared too, and she was on the phone with her mom in the car, and just asking what we should do, and it was really, really upsetting. And that particular night, I honestly want to say, is the night that my entire life changed. Before that, I mean, that car was my escape. That car was everything that, you know, it was. I needed to get out of the house, I'd go drive. I'd go to meets. I mean, I met half of the people that I, called friends at that time, and some of the people that I know today, that I really credit just being there for me through all this bullshit. I met because of the car. I mean, half of them I met in a parking lot at night because of my car. That's it. So, had it not been for that car, I really wouldn't have figured out. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I really wouldn't have the resources and people that I know. So.
What were some of the best feelings that you had while having that car?
Oh man. Some of the best feelings that I had driving that car, honestly, golden hour, right as the sun's setting, in either fall or the spring, and just go for a drive. Go and grab Sonora and just go drive. Go where she lives. There's a really nice spot for about a mile, and it's just covered in trees, and it's a 2-lane road. So a one-way road, one lane's going that way, the other one's coming at you, and it's a really beautiful spot. And that was my favorite spot to drive. If not, then driving up to the mountains. Every night after, leaving her house or anything else I was doing, I would just leave and go home, and it would be late at night, and just late night drives, put on some chill music, just lo-fi playlist on Spotify, and just lay back and cruise with it. And I was really able to not only connect with the car, but connect with my surroundings, and just it kind of showed me how to have an open mind, or just have a clean mind, I guess. Really was cleansing for me to have. Other than that, I mean, in the car community itself, just I had underglow on the car, and people like it, some people don't like it. It's your own subjective opinion. I was a fan of the Fast and Furious for a long time, and so I loved it. And when I finally had the chance to put it on, I did. And some of the people that I would cruise with, I mean, driving around with the same color underglow, and you just, overtake regular traffic cars at the speed limit. That shit, there is no greater feeling than that. That was so much fun. When I lost my car, it's probably one of my biggest losses. And also at the same time, one of my biggest gains, to be honest. I really gained a lot of knowledge from having that car in general. I remember, and a lot of people may remember me talking about how much I hated it and wanted to get rid of it because of everything that it represented. It represented my failures and my greatest achievements. Owning that car was all I ever really wanted, and so I had a better car than everybody I knew. Better car than everybody I knew, personally, at that time. So I was like, yeah, you go hop in your Dodge Durango, I'm gonna go drive in my FRS, which $20,000 used sports car. Yeah, not really a flex, but to me, it was what I wanted, and it was my goal, so I achieved it. But at the same time, I had to sacrifice so much to do it, and I really didn't only lose my car, I also lost a lot of opportunity in owning it. And even after the wreck, after I was, debt free, and even made a couple $100 left over after it from my insurance. I mean, really, I was okay. I mean, I was just really unhappy. Just really sad I didn't have that again. But now, after buying another car that blew up a few days after buying it, I just kind of realized, like, my source of happiness doesn't really come from cars. I wasn't happy when I bought the car anyway. It wasn't my FRS. And if I bought another FRS, it's not going to be my FRS. It's not going to be my Release series. And I kind of realized it's really not the happiness that I get from driving the car. It's kind of just, to me, it's really the people that I've surrounded myself with. In the last month or so, I've really only been around the few people that I really, really consider family to me. And that's really all I want right now. Starting tomorrow, at the time of filming this, I'm about to embark on almost 2 straight weeks of work, 12 to 16-hour days, just to be able to afford bills. Nothing more. And once I get out of that hole, and I'll be able to do other things that I want to do in life and not have to worry about money or buying stupid cars that I shouldn't have bought in the first place, then I feel like I'll be able to really say that I've learned from the losses that I've taken, but also just gained happiness from it.
There's some things that I truly want people to understand about me. I'm not a good person. I don't know when it started. I don't know when it will end. But I know for a long time I've not been okay. There's not a lot I can do for myself other than go to therapy or medicate, but that's not something I'm willing to do. I truly don't understand. I just don't understand why I needed to be born so bad just to be this. I was born before and after a miscarriage. Like, there's no way I needed to be here this bad just to be dead by a young age. And it's not even like a recent thought. This is a thought that's been in my head since I've been in high school. I just knew for a long time, or thought for a long time, that I wouldn't see past 25. I don't understand. I don't fully get why I'm this way. I can't control what I do. I feel like I've hurt my friends a lot. They've had to deal with so much these past couple years. If I would have just went ahead and did it at the beginning of 2019, I feel like I want to never cause lasting damage to the people around me. But most times I don't blame myself for that. I truly don't. I don't blame myself for the heartbreaks I've caused. I don't blame myself for all the things I've said to people. I don't blame myself for any of it. You know what my mom said before? I was telling her why I felt the way I felt about certain things. And she said, "What did I do whenever I was raising you for you to come out like this?" And you know, parents like to shoot out things like that randomly, but it really got me thinking. I mean, I know I'm not here all the way, but still, I know I have issues. I know I've been diagnosed. I know I've taken meds. But what truly made me the person I am today? Could be drugs. At a young age. Could be all the childhood trauma. Could be just regular trauma over the years, but it doesn't truly attest to why I do the things I do and say the things I do and why I do the things I hurt people physically and mentally. Sometimes I feel as if I were never born, a lot of things, a lot of people, a lot of things would have never happened. A lot of people would have never been hurt. Sometimes I don't blame myself, but I flip. I mean, I can go from the world is a fucking awful place and it made me this way and there's nothing I can do about it, to I have the whole fucking world in my hand. I can control anything I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'd completely level all these fucking buildings if I wanted to. All of them. All of Lawton. I can fucking level Lawton. I can go from that to just feeling like an absolute sack of fucking shit. Go from feeling like a fucking god. I made everything. I made that fucking moon. I did all of that shit. That is all fucking me. Creator of everything. Then I can go to, I'm alone in this world. It is fucked up. This world is going to shit. And there's nothing I can do about it. Because there is nothing I can do about it. That's how I'm feeling at this current moment. And I just feel as if I do need help, but do I want to get that, or do I want to just end it? It's two ways out. It's two ways out. Hearing things right now. On the way here, I heard trumpets. Was that a sign? Maybe. I don't fucking know. I was made fun of my looks for about 90% of my life. People are always like, "Oh, why do you always have your hair in your face? Oh, your face is so pretty, oh, this and that." That wasn't what you were telling me years ago. This ego has built up in my fucking head. Whenever I'm alone, I feel attractive. I feel this and that. The compliments they get to me. But again, there's another side to it. I feel like a disgusting human being. I feel like I do nothing on my life. And I feel like I'm fucking ugly. And there's nothing that anyone can convince me otherwise. People always want to relate to a person who is so horrible. They always want to relate to someone that is so fucking horrible, and I don't get it. I truly don't fucking get it. Why do you want to be so fucked up? Why do you want to be so fucked up? Why do you want to be so fucking miserable? What about your fucking life do you want to be so miserable so fucking bad? This generation has convinced people that being happy is not okay. It's okay to be normal. Not everyone has to have a fucking mental illness. Everyone, all of a sudden, everyone is fucking bipolar. Everyone's borderline. Everyone's fucking ADHD. Everyone has fucking autism. What happened to being a normal fucking human being? You know what I would fucking do? To not feel the way I feel some days? You know what I would fucking do to not have that? You know what I would love to not wake up to fucking nightmares almost every night? You know what I would love to fucking do is to not stay up for fucking days and torture my fucking self, hurting myself, self-harming my fucking self, having thoughts every day, hurting people. You know what I would fucking do to not have that? I would kill for it. You are normal, and it is okay. You don't have a fucking mental illness. Start trying to psych yourself into having some type of like fucked up mentality. Not everyone is like that. And a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't get my irritation. They say, oh, I feel you, I feel you, I feel you. I know some people may get a little sliver of what the fuck I feel. And they understand that. But there's just some people who really don't fucking understand the fucking anger. I can't really blame anyone but myself. Most times. Because a lot of things I've done in my life, it's not okay. One thing I really want to express to people to the hardest extent. I do love you. I do care for you. My love is genuine. Most of it. But I want people to understand something about me. I am not a good person. Believe what you want to believe. Believe what you want to fucking believe. Truly. There's an image of me in your mind. It is not the same as the one in mine.
So, what actually made you want to start doing a documentary in the first place?
A lot of the big reason that I wanted to start is ever since I was really young, which I kind of expressed in the in the trailer, is that since I was young, I've always really liked capturing moments and being able to show other people, because a lot of people growing up around me, they never recorded or barely took photos of anything besides my mom, and that's where I really mostly get it from. And you know, a lot of people didn't really take videos of themselves. I mean, I've been doing this since 2014, so this is like around the time where people were just now starting to do things like that. But I wanted to have a perspective from my viewpoint instead of from everyone else's, because I want to show everyone else how I perceive the world. And the reason that I want to do this specifically is because I can say that my life is at least a little bit interesting, but also there's just a lot of people around me that can really benefit from the things that are in here and from the questions that are in here, because all the questions that I've asked and all the people that I have interviewed, they all play a part that was really important to me, just like the 3 subjects. So I think that's what mostly, just the drive to be able to show people that there's creativity around places like this, and to express topics that I hold near and dear to my heart.
So what's the, in your own personal opinion to you, what is the best thing that you've learned in the last few months of doing this?
I've learned a lot that people are really interested in things like this. I've gotten a lot of support that I didn't realize until about now. And people, I realize that people are, with them being interested, like they're really happy to be able to be in an interview and to be able to be recorded and things like that. Like a lot of people kind of push me to be like, hey, I want to get my part in the doc, or hey, like I want to contribute in a certain way. Like I really want you to get me in a part of it, because I find it really interesting. Because like I was saying, like a lot of people around here they don't do things like this. So that's what a lot of things, I just found that people are interested in a lot of creativity things, creative things around here. So.
Okay. Where do you see the documentary moving forward after it's complete? Like where do you see yourself after the documentary is complete?
Oh man. I say that the day that it comes out, a lot of people are gonna be thinking, well, not really thanking me, like applauding me for doing so good, or if it's good or if it's bad, or whatever support that I get from it. And I guess I'm just gonna go back to my normal life and hopefully find something else that's gonna give me a drive to keep going. Because there's not a whole lot that I can say day to day that keeps me wanting to do stuff besides the people around me. So I think it's gonna help a lot of people, and the people that are in there are really gonna appreciate me for doing something that's creative, because for the third time, I mean, a lot of people don't do stuff like this around here. So
Is there an individual experience or something that you saw or something that really affected you in the last few months of doing this documentary that you will take to heart and that you've really learned from, and you're really going to carry with you for the rest of your life?
just the way that a lot of people express their feelings and the things I've captured on camera, it was really interesting.
it is really interesting to see a lot of people pour out their emotions, and I think that's really gonna stick with me, that a lot of people around here like have genuine emotions that they want to like get out. Like everyone has something that they're dealing with basically, and everyone has a story, whether it be something small, whether it be something big. It just really hit me that there is a lot of people with stories like mine, or is there a lot of people that deal with the same things I deal with, and I think that's really going to stick with me hard. Whenever I first started this, I felt like finding the answer in other people would help me, and it honestly did. It was really amazing to see everyone come together and help me on this journey. I really appreciate everyone that did. Along with helping other people, it really helped me a lot. It helped me put my creativity and mind into a video, into a project. It really helped me a lot, like a lot. And I'm glad I'm gonna be able to help other people. I really appreciate everyone that has come together and helped me with this project. All the people that pushed me to be better, all the people that pushed me to do bigger, better things during this time, 2 months that this was happening. I really love you all. I thank y'all for this. It really has been amazing. Thank you. And thank you for watching this. That was good.